Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Idahoan Show. So, in the past, I've made a number of muzzle loaders using DOM tubing for barrels. And based on my proof testing of those muzzle loaders, DOM tubing seems to hold up just fine in that capacity. But I'm sure some of you out there are wondering, what about smokeless powder? Is DOM tubing strong enough to handle the pressures of actual centerfire cartridges? And I must confess that I'm wondering that myself. Now, I did a test kind of along those lines recently where I took this barrel that I made out of a piece of DOM tubing. This is a rifled 50 caliber barrel, and I tried firing 410 shot shells out of it, which are loaded with smokeless powder, although the pressures generated by shot shells are probably closer to what you'd expect in a muzzle loader than what you'd get in other centerfire metallic cartridges. But anyway, I tried firing 410 shot shells out of it, and then I tried loading it with a lead round ball, muzzle loading projectile, using a pre-measured charge of black powder in a previously emptied 410 shell that I'd reprimed behind it to make kind of a muzzle loader center fire hybrid. And that system worked. I mean, the barrel held up to the pressures just fine, but it wasn't very accurate. It really wasn't any easier to load than a traditional muzzle loader when I was using the round balls. And so I don't think I'm really going to be using this barrel for that kind of shooting much in the future. And so I think what I want to do is repurpose it for another type of more serious centerfire testing. And specifically, what I'm going to do is first I'll just cut off this reduced diameter section so that I can eliminate any unnecessary variables from the test. And then I'll make a chambering reamer and chamber this barrel for the 50 Action Express cartridge. I think that should provide a representatively conservative test of the suitability of DOM tubing for centerfire handgun barrels. Well, good news. Even at the thinnest section, the barrel is exactly the same diameter after firing 4 50 AE shells from my proof testing vise as it was before the test. So we're not seeing any bulging or deformation of the barrel whatsoever. Well, that worked out actually rather well. I think we've conclusively demonstrated that at least in certain cases, DOM tubing is structurally adequate for handgun barrels. Now, I think we've also conclusively demonstrated that a 50 AE Utah pistol generates a lot of recoil. Even my 75 caliber Utah pistol, I'd go out and shoot it 5 to 10 times, and by the time I'd get done, my thumb would be getting pretty numb from the impact of the recoil. This thing, I shot it once, and I am numb from here to here. So, the recoil is definitely a bit snappy, as gun writers like to say. And for that reason, I don't think I'm going to be doing any accuracy testing with this. I'd thought about putting my red dot sight on the barrel and seeing what kind of accuracy we're getting out of it, but I'm a little concerned about what the effects of repeated recoil might be to my hand if I did something like that. So, in this configuration, I don't think I'm going to be shooting this gun much in the future. But it's definitely nice to know that I can make 50 AE barrels out of this type of DOM tubing. Maybe at some point I'll make a longer barrel and build like a little 50 AE carbine or something. It seems like that could be a lot of fun. But anyway, until next time, thanks for watching the Idahoan Show.